Good afternoon, everybody. This is Accu-Stats, and we are at the first annual Derby City Classic. I'm in the booth with my good friend Bill Incardona. And Bill, the field is pared down to 4 players from 150 in this one-pocket division.
Yes, it is. Nick Varner, by the way, won the bank pool division, and he has also an opportunity to win the one-pocket division.
That he does, and let's mention that Tang Ho has defeated both of these players. And on an adjacent table, he'll be playing Cliff Joyner. And I've been watching the one pocket with great interest all week here in Louisville, and I must say that these 4 gentlemen have played better than anybody else, and that's evidenced by their still being in the tournament.
Exactly. Like I mentioned, Nick Varner has won the bank pool event, and he has an opportunity to win the one pocket. And if he happens to go on to win the one pocket, I think that if he goes on and wins the 9-ball event, that'll be the first player, to my recollection, that has ever won 3 events in one tournament.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 has been done a few times. Larry the Iceman Hubbard won both divisions twice at 2 different 2-division tournaments. That was back in the 70s.
And Mark Tadd won 2 out of the 3 divisions in California and finished second in the 3rd division. That was when they had the 8-ball.
Yeah, I remember that. And I also
9-ball.
remember that he managed to sneak in some kind of way as an amateur. Now, how that happened, I don't know. And he made himself a nice payday. I think he was about $30,000 or $40,000. At any rate, Nick has won the leg, and this should be a great match.
Well, if this is anything like the match they played in the banks, this is going to be a tremendous match. Nick and Efren matched up in the bank pool. It was late in the tournament, and it was a spectacular match, extremely exciting. Nick eventually winning the match 3-2. Like the bank pool, this is a race to 3.
Now, if I see the angle correctly, Billy, he can do something with the 13 ball, which is by Nick's pocket. He's not in any trouble here. I mean, if he had to, he could thin the 9 ball with quite a bit of left English and just float gently behind the 13, or play to move it 2 or 3 inches. That's one possibility. Or he could do something with the 3-4, possibly, but I don't think he can handle the cue ball.
I don't think he can thin the 9. I think the 9's a little high for that shot. He may come off the 1, possibly. I don't think he could even see the 13.
Okay. Well, that's a good shot.
Varner has really been playing well in this tournament, in the bank pool, and actually winning the bank pool, and been playing really good, solid pool.
Well, I like thinning the 1 and trying to put the cue ball over by the right-hand side pocket. Of course, you got to be a little careful because Efren isn't above shooting that 2 ball from angles from which no mortal would attempt it. He's looking at that right now, I believe. He's wondering if it's okay to put the cue ball on the side rail there.
And he really doesn't want Efren to shoot, so therefore, if I were Nick, I would give Efren some sort of an out, not to force him to shoot the 2 ball.
Yeah, we've touched on that in the past. It's not a good idea to force Efren to shoot.
Looks like he's banking it, huh? Oh. He wants to kick the 4 over. Okay, now that worked out much better for him.
Well, if he hadn't hit the 4, Efren would probably have had a free shot on the 3 ball. As it is, he doesn't have a free shot. He would have to strike this thickly and go into the 5 or possibly the 2 ball in order to make the cue ball go between the 4 and the side rail, but I don't believe he's going to do that.
Okay, he has an option to either try to pocket the 3 or do something with the 4, possibly rail first. He's trying to feel the angle that he has on a 3 now, where the cue ball will end up. If there's any chance that he can position the cue ball behind the 4, rail first, he'll shoot the 3. But I don't think the angle offers that type of a result.
Now, in his match the other day, which we have on tape here at Accu-Stats, he shot a similar shot, but it laid naturally. This one does not.
So if he's going to shoot the 3 and play cue ball only behind the 4, he's better off just hitting rail first and not even full with the 3. Now he's opting to do something with the 4.
Well, he can hit the 4 first and billiard into the 12. But I don't think he's going to do that. He's just playing a little simple safety here.
Okay.
But I don't think that's a good shot. Nick has a free shot on the 15 ball here.
I don't know how free it is. He's close to that cushion. I don't know if he can clear the 14 without applying a lot of left-hand English on the cue ball. And considering how close the cue ball is to that side rail,
this is an easy shot. If he, well, maybe not. Maybe I see it wrong, but I don't think so. I think just a smidgen of left English will cause the cue ball to go beyond the 14 ball. Of course, he could cut the 6 a little bit to his left and just put the cue ball over right about the second diamond on the lower right-hand side rail.
Yeah, he doesn't want him to see the 4.
Just like this.
That's a good shot. Now he has not let Reyes see the 4. Big ball. He has to protect the 4 ball.
Right.
And he's done that.
Well, the 11-12 loom is a possibility for Nick if Efren leaves him up the table. I don't really see too much he can do with this 8 ball.
If I was Efren, I'd walk up the other end of the table to see if the 3 will pass the 4 into the pocket. If the 3 won't pass the 4 into the pocket, then I'd pocket the 6, repositioning the cue ball on that end cushion, using the 3 as a blocker so he can't pocket the 4.
I think he'd rather be
well, he doesn't have anything.
Aggressive than that.
He doesn't have anything offensive, and that's one of your.
I didn't say offensive. I said
for you losing a lot of matches you shouldn't lose. You try to be aggressive when there's nothing out there.
Well, I've done that. Sure,
Yeah.
I'll admit that.
So therefore, there comes a time when you can't be aggressive. You have to be really passive. But he hasn't even looked to see if the 3 will pass to 4. If it won't pass to 4, I'd utilize that 3 as a blocker, repositioning the cue ball at the other end of the table, because it seems to me like he's taking a scratch here. I think he would. If the 3 doesn't pass to 4, the other shot's a better shot than this. Now, he wasn't aggressive there, was he?
No, he wasn't aggressive.
But he lost a point.
Yeah, but he can't. I don't know that he gains a thing here.
He doesn't. That's why I said if the 3 would not pass the 4, up table would have been a better position to leave Varner. You forced Varner to do something.
Nick's got some nice shots here. He could hit the 5 into the 2 ball, making sure not to get a kiss, and knock them both out of there and draw the cue ball kind of gently into the 10-7. Just leave it right on top of those balls. Or he could thin the 5 and put him back over on the rail, but that's fraught with a bit of peril. If he lets Efren see the 11, the 12, the 4, he could be out of the trap.
Yeah, but that 5's going to be utilized as a blocker here. And Efren's going to be in a similar position that he was the last time he was at the table. So therefore, what he did was really, in a sense, counterproductive because he lost the ball in doing it.
Well, his position might be a little better here. I don't know. It's hard to tell from here. Depends on which balls he can hit and which he can't, and how much of them he can hit.
He used a carom shot to reposition the cue ball, shooting the 4 carom, no, not the 4, shooting the 12 ball it was. And what ball actually did he hit first? He caromed off the 14.
I thought he hit the 9 first.
The 9, and then caroming off the 14, changing the angle.
Well, I don't know if he can hit this 5 ball or not. If he can, that would be the ball to strike first and try to do something with. Now he can, if he wants, just lay the cue ball over on the rail, but again, he doesn't want to let Efren shoot the 12 or the 9 ball. If he lets him hit the left edge of the 12, Efren's out of the trap.
And by hitting the under part of the 12, he'll drop under the 13.
Right, left English. See, he's elevated because he needs a little extra English. Well, he couldn't hit it. He had to twist it a little bit to hit it just enough on the left to have the cue ball go to the left. Now, he's not out of this yet, but it's looking a little better. He's looking to see if he wants to shoot the 6 ball. But now, see, I don't like that. He might end up forcing Efren to shoot or letting him out of the trap. I think maybe there's something better to do here. I don't know exactly what.
Looks like he can see the 2. And he's going to reposition the cue ball up by the 6. Watch the point of the side.
Well, that's a nice shot.
It's a real nice shot because now he utilized the 3 as a blocker.
But Efren might have a shot to go off the 8 ball, over to the side rail, and into the 12. Or I know he can go off the 9 and behind the 13.
Yeah, well, why would you fool with the 8? The 8 is really, that route is really, like you say, fraught with peril.
That's the shot.
That's natural. And it looks like he's starting to work his way out here of the jam. Nick's trying to, he can buy a little time shooting that shot there. Hopes that when he gets back to the table, he has a better better situation to deal with. This is the part of the game right here. This part of the game right here, you have to be particularly careful. I'm not talking about just Efren, but Nick also, because Nick has a strong position. He doesn't want to shoot a shot that will allow Efren to destroy the position. And sometimes all it takes, even though he has a strong position, sometimes it takes just one shot, bad shot by Nick, and he loses his market, and the position's gone. So not only does Efren have to be careful, Nick has to be equally as careful.
Well, he's got a nice shot here. I think. Can't he hit the 7 ball with quite a bit of right English and maybe have the cue ball go to the side rail and come right back on top of that 14-15 ball?
Yes, he can definitely do that. Nick's concerns right now, you don't want to open up balls on Efren's side of the table unless he's forced to. That shot will open up the 10 on Efren's side of the table. But I think at this time it's a fair trade-off. If he's able to get the cue ball back against the 14, he can afford to open up a ball on Efren's side of the table if he can do that. When you're playing a player the caliber of an Efren Reyes, you really don't want any balls opened up on his side of the table unless you're forced to opening them up. Now, see, now there's 2 balls on his side of the table. Nick must execute this shot well, which he's done.
He did, yeah. Now, the key to that was not letting Efren hit the 1, 9, 11, or 13. And he laid it in there perfectly. And I thought it laid, pretty well for that.
Well, that was the crucial shot for Nick because he knew if he opted to go that route, he would open up balls on Efren's side of the table. Now, this is the crucial shot in the game for Efren. Now he's going to force Nick to deal with the balls on his side of the table, on Efren's side of the table.
Well, he's going to shoot the 13 ball.
He's got to protect the balls on...
he's going to shoot the 13 ball here, is what he's going to do.
Does he have a path to the 13?
I believe he does.
Well, if he does, then Efren certainly has made a grave mistake by allowing Nick at the table with a shot like he has on the 13.
And he'll want to just stay down on this. Nice follow through. And, well, I don't know. He might be shooting the 9. It's hard to tell from here.
Nick's really playing well, Grady.
Yeah.
That particular shot right there, it's a strong indication.
Well, not only was it not
he's
easy, it exhibited great confidence, and second most, he had Efren safe if he doesn't make it, which I mean is a very well thought out shot, struck with confidence and accuracy.
But what I really looked at was his demeanor prior to shooting that shot. No hesitation.
No, it was a hanger to him.
Right.
He felt like it was a hanger.
If you're not in top stroke, you're going to study that, whether or not you want to shoot it or not. But when you're in top stroke, you just, it was no indecision at all out there. Just struck it in the center of the pocket.
All right, he's got 3, playing for 5. And he wants to get rid of this 12 ball, so the 11 will go.
So the key shot for Nick in this particular rack was repositioning, shooting Grady's shot, by the way, repositioning the cue ball against the 14, realizing that he would open up balls on Efren's side of the table, but it would be a fair trade-off.
Well, that little bunt safety, Efren took it the other end of the table. As great a player as he is, I've seen him lose a lot of games trying to do that. And
Well,
you see, he really didn't have anything to gain from that. Even if he wedges the cue ball behind the 6 ball, he's still at an extreme disadvantage. And I suggest that you have to be a bit more offensive than that to beat somebody the likes of a Nick Varner. All right, playing for 3. Now, got some choices here. If I've got this shot, I'm going to hit it hard enough to get on the 11. I might get an angle where I can break out the 2-4. If not, I might be able to get on the 10 ball, or I could bank the 7 next.
Right.
Or the 3 goes.
Right.
Just like see what kind of angle he gets.
He's getting a little straighter than he wanted.
No, this is perfect.
Looks like he got a nice angle.
Now watch this shot. Just above center ball, he'll float across, brush across the high side of the 4 ball, like that. And it's racky-sacky, as the immortal Ronnie Allen used to say. And game number 1 goes to Nick Varner.
In a textbook style.
That indeed.
So Varner has certainly shown us that he's come totally prepared to play. I guess you pick up a lot of confidence after you win a tournament.
Well, sure. He's got a lot of things going for him. He's got a great family, a wonderful wife, Tony. His dad's here in attendance, a lot of friends from his native Kentucky. And he's playing as good or better pool than anybody in the world, you know.
Well, you know, Nick's gone through a little bit of a drought in the past several years. Hasn't really been winning tournaments at the rate as he did in the past. And the bank pool tournament that he won, and also I think it was a major 9-ball tournament he finished second to, I believe it was to Francisco Bustamante.
Yeah, but you know, you say that, Billy. Didn't he finish 3rd or 4th in the Camel standings, didn't he?
Well, he's a consistent player. What I was speaking about was winning a major event. You know, he's shown consistency in terms of finishing high.
Well, if a guy finishes in the top 4 on the Pro 9-ball tour, by my standards, that's at least as good as winning 3 or 4 tournaments that year.
Well, by my standards, I have to disagree with you. Well, I'd rather win 3 or 4 tournaments.
You'd rather have 2 wins than like 8 seconds and 3/3?
Now, you just said 3 or 4 wins, and you dropped it down to 2. Now, make up your mind. Is it 3 or 4 or 2?
Not wins. We're not talking about wins, because you're the one that said that he hadn't been winning.
Right. He's been going through a little bit of a drought. Is that correct, Pat? I can't hear you, Pat. Well, he hasn't won a tournament in a while. You know, but he did finish second to Bustamante in a major event. Is that correct? And so, therefore, he's starting to show signs of the life. Right. So, and then he went on to win the bank pool, and look, he's doing well in the 1 pocket. So, therefore, he's starting to show a little bit of the old Nick Varner.
Bank pool and 9-ball are, in this commentator's opinion, infinitely nicer disciplines and more skillful pursuits than 9-ball. And we'll go on and continue with this match, but 9-ball in this very housewife-like manner continues to ruin this great sport, in my opinion, and I could be wrong. But I don't think so. They started having 9-ball in 1961 with the 1-foul rules at the Jansko Brothers tournament in Johnson City, Illinois, and it hasn't ever really progressed too much.
If you take a look at the players on the floor, the 4 players remaining in the 1 pocket were actually 3 of the 4 that expected to be there in the Final 4, with one exception. We figured to have seen Shannon Dalton out there, and Tang Ho has taken his place.
That he has, and he's taken the place of many of the 9-ball players too. He's playing that awfully well, you know. Nice shot, nice shot. Look at the way Nick is playing and thinking and executing.
Yeah, that was a real good shot, executed it to near perfection.
You know what they used to say about the great Clem from Cincinnati, that when you got through playing 1 pocket with him, your toes would be sore from standing on tiptoes shooting out of the stack. And Nick is playing that style of game right now. Quite frankly, he's had Efren throttled thus far in this match.
Well, Nick has a great understanding of the defensive game, and he's such an intelligent player at the table.
Well, now he's got a free shot on the 13 ball. And I like laying this right over underneath the 1. I don't want to get it so far down that it makes the 15 ball bank easy if I don't make the 13. But I want the 13, to be on my side of the table, preferably, within a couple of feet of my pocket.
Sometimes when you shoot a bank like this and draw the cue ball, you hit the bank a little harder than you would like.
Well, this is okay, too. He's going to put him back in the stack, but he's got to watch the kiss here.
Well, he's got to control the 2 ball. He's got to put it by that 1.
See how close he came to the kiss? Now, to use yesterday's word for the day, that was rude of Nick to stick him back in the stack like that again.
Very inconsiderate.
Now, see, here we go again. Now, this is 2 times in a row. He's got to elevate the cue and play a little bunt safety. Guy gets tired of this after a while. All right. Now, he's got the 3 ball or the 13. Now, depending on exactly how it lies. If it lays where he doesn't have to disturb the 5 ball, so he doesn't want to hit the 5 ball as I see it, because the 5 kisses off the 12, goes towards Efren's pocket a shade, and you'll leave him a shot.
Yeah, if he hits enough of the 5, but he might be able to just brush it slightly, getting very little movement.
Now he's looking at the possibility of putting the cue ball over there and banking the 13. But this isn't as good a shot as the other one because he has to elevate the cue. He's over some balls.
And he's having second thoughts about that shot.
Well, this is nice, too. Put him back in the stack a 3rd time. A just below center ball, right English. Well, have some more fun.
Yeah, he's trying to frustrate Reyes right now, making Reyes' job much more difficult. Reyes wants a shot to exhibit some of the fine skills that he's developed throughout the years, but Nick is not going to give him that shot. And if you can continue to frustrate Reyes, he breaks down just like anyone else, but not as often. He's not immune to frustration and fear.
No human being is that I know of.
And when playing a player as unrelenting as Varner, he'll certainly have a test. Test of patience.
Confusion and uncertainty reign in the Reyes camp at the moment. He has had nothing to shoot at.
To the delight of Varner, to the chagrin of Reyes.
Now, see, this is interesting because there's 2 or 3 ways that he can stick him back on the stack if that's what he would like to do.
It looks like he can shoot the 9 and stick him on the 6, opening up balls on his side of the table if he can hit the 9 thickly enough to do that.
Well, he's got other shots here, too. He can leave him on the stack hitting the 5 first, too. Or the 15 first, and then the 6, and then the cue ball goes right up by the 9. Or he can hit the 6 first.
And follow.
Yeah, he's got a lot of nice shots here.
I think he's allowed him to see some part of the 6.
I don't know if he can or not.
Well, he'll probably just kick it then. But he has to be careful if he kicks it.
But you have to kick this shot easy. I think if you go for this shot, that it's not a high percentage shot.
It's not a high percentage shot for the average player. No, he played the kick exactly the way that's exactly the way he planned it.
Yeah,
the
that's a
results
good shot.
he got were planned. That wasn't there. That just didn't happen accidentally. He planned that, and that's one of the reasons why Efren Reyes is regarded as one of the best kickers in the world today.
That's a great shot he made.
Now he's trying to reverse the tables on Varner. The strong position that Varner had in regard to the stack and the balls has deteriorated. Now Reyes seems to be the man in charge right now. Tables are turned a little bit. Let's see what Reyes can do.
Yeah, that one shot definitely changed the tone of the game.
And isn't that true, Grady, how one shot can change the entire
and you know,
game?
this game here is fascinating to me. A lot of times the guy who can leave the cue ball on the rail first, you know, frozen, where guys got to elevate the cue and maybe hit the shot a little harder with a little less accuracy than he would like, it'll cause him to lose. Now that was a very subtle mishap on Nick's part. He really didn't do anything wrong.
You see what he's looking at? He was looking at thinning the 6, setting the cue ball 2 cushions in between the 2 and the 13, ending up on the upper left-hand side of the table. Now watch. Thinning the 6, 2 to 3 cushions with the cue ball. 1. He wants to block the 6 with the 13, which he's done, repositioning the 6 in a real good spot on the table for Nick, and also the cue ball in a bad spot for Varner.
Yeah. Well, he's got some choices here, and I don't know that any of them are extra pleasant. First, we'll see if there's any dead ones. Billiards, combinations, kisses.
He's looking at the 10, but he really doesn't want to shoot that.
It's not natural.
No, it looks like it's too thick, and he sends balls to Reyes the side of the table. He really doesn't want to shoot that.
He's got a shot to play a billiard off the 2 ball and sending the cue ball into the 6.
He has that. And once again, that shot isn't real appealing, but might be the only shot he has.
Well, the 6 is a bit too far off the rail, really, for that shot to be most natural.
Now he's thinking about, I don't know what he's thinking about when he was
Well, there's no kick shot there.
taking an intentional scratch, or maybe he's just...
maybe he's going to play the 10. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, but he's going to control the cue ball against the stack, like so. And he got lucky there. He got lucky and made the 8. And look at the 7-5. Had he not made the 8, it looks like that 7-5
yeah, it
was
would have been
available
an easy shot, yeah.
for Reyes.
Yeah.
So you have to have a little luck also when you win tournaments. You don't win them, you know, just with skill. You have to have a little bit of luck, you know.
Well, he's going to have to take an easy kick at this 6, I think, here. I sure don't see anything else.
Grady's saying that Nick should kick 2 cushions underneath the 6.
Making sure to stay underneath it.
And that's what he's going to do, it looks like. I like Grady's shot, kicking 2 cushions underneath the 6. And then if he does that, Reyes will probably shoot the 10, following through, trying to leave the cue ball on the opposite side rail. Nick's looking at the 2 ball. If he shoots the 2, he's really challenging Reyes.
Well,
and it's not a good idea to challenge Reyes, as we discussed that earlier.
Right. He's not going to do that. If I had to shoot one of those 2 balls, I'd make it to 1 ball and try to have the 2 block the 9-6, because that's a relative. See, he could just put the cue ball right on the end rail. Doesn't matter if he makes the 1 or not.
Okay, now he's challenging Reyes at this time to shoot the 9-6, but the great thing about it for Reyes is this shot doesn't carry a penalty if he doesn't make it.
Well, that's not necessarily true. What are you going to do, roll it?
Yeah, you're going to roll it. You're going to play the 9 into the cushion.
Oh, I don't think that's a good shot at all to roll it. I'd play the 2 ball into those balls before I do that.
Oh, I thought that he could overcut the 9, playing the 9 into the cushion.
Oh, I don't think he's going to do that. The 2 ball is a much better shot to go.
Well, then he's going to hit it with a center ball.
I see that.
And he's going to hit it with the speed,
now,
not to go down table too far to give Varner a shot.
All right, now he's got 2 choices: bank the 11 or kick the 6, and I think he'll choose to kick the 6.
Well, I don't think the 11's a choice. The 11 shouldn't even be a choice. He's got to kick the 6.
I wouldn't say he's got to shoot the 6. He just won the bank pool tournament. I make that an even money bank.
Yeah, but he won the bank pool tournament by playing intelligently.
Okay, well. See, he tried to make it harder for Efren to put him on the side of the stack.
Okay, Reyes, I think, should take an intentional scratch here.
Yeah, I like
one
that
cushion
too.
into
I
the
like
stack,
that too.
which he's done. Now Nick has, once again, the option that Grady said before by kicking 2 cushions underneath the 6. He can do the same thing here, to kicking 2 cushions underneath the 9 and 6. He's going to have to shoot this shot sooner or later.
Well, I would hit this a little easy. I don't want to get it high enough where I leave a bank on the 9.
Here we go. He wants to hit the 9. He's taking a scratch. Well, Reyes will once again do the same thing. He'll take another scratch, putting Nick back. And 3 consecutive fouls is lost a game. Reyes is on 1, and Nick is on 1. Reyes is saying to himself, well, I got to put him back, and then he'll put me back. And then what do I do? Well, I'll deal with it when that time comes. I'll put him back.
I'd like to hit the 10 here. Well, he didn't even worry about that.
Okay, now Reyes is on 2 scratches. Nick is on 1. Nick's looking at the 3. I don't think there's any shot, even if he can hit the 3.
No.
Unless he can hit the 3 and freeze him on the 7. But I don't think he has enough.
That's not there.
No, I don't think there's enough ball there. So Nick has to just do what he did the last time he was at the table. He's got to take another scratch and put him back. And then it's up to Reyes to make a legal shot. And if he doesn't make a legal shot, he loses the game.
Provided Nick remembers to tell him he's on 2.
Right. Watch out. A little too close for me, but I believe he has allowed Reyes to thinly hit the 9 now with a little bit of English to put him back into the stand.
You know, this is a hard shot, though, and Efren excels at this, but
that wasn't as hard as it appeared. Notice
now
how
Nick
nicely,
can play safe.
But notice how nicely Reyes was able to reposition the cue ball. Had Nick gotten up table another inch, he couldn't have done that.
Now, the shot I like here is not trying to put the 10 on my side, but crossing it up maybe in the area of the 13 ball and the cue ball over to the side rail and back over. I'd like to come as close to this 6 ball as I could.
Okay, but most importantly, Nick cannot afford to allow Efren to see.
Maybe he can make this. Oh, boy. Wouldn't that be something, Bill, if he could make? Look at that. Well, I couldn't tell from here that he could make it. Now, that is an unforced error on the part of Efren.
Well, not necessarily. Efren made a pretty good shot by getting him back into the stack.
Oh, he didn't take a scratch. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, now that I think about it, he thinned the 9. And
you know, we have.
Now, he has an angle here where he can float the cue ball down to the end rail, and it doesn't matter what happens to the 15. He'll have a bank on the 6 if he makes this shot, and probably have Efren safe if he does not.
Providing that he hits it with the right speed, which obviously he has. The softness of the shot is the correct speed.
Now here, I'll tell you what, I'm going all out for the bank here. I'm not going to worry about protecting against Efren's pocket.
It looks like if he hits the bank and overcuts, the cue ball will go into the side of the 8 and then into the 9.
Well, he's not going to be able to protect against a 9 ball, I don't think.
I think that if he overcuts the 6, he'll hit the 8 and then hit the 9 with the cue ball, and he won't.
Well, you can't do that
He won't
because
give
the
up a
14 and
shot.
15 bank. He should just go all out to make this and don't worry about anything else.
Well, now he's repositioned the cue ball in an area on the table that's going to create a problem for himself.
That's for sure. In fact, I don't see any easy way out of this. I really don't.
Efren owes 2 balls. Nick has just ran 3, so he's 1 to the good.
He's looking to see, can I bank the 2 ball and put the cue ball on the side rail? Or now, see if the 2 doesn't pass. You got to be real careful you don't hit this 2 ball when you bank the 1. If the 2 doesn't pass, then he was looking maybe at leaving the cue ball where Efren cannot hit the 8 ball. And in that way, maybe play an 8-9 combination. I think that's what he's going to do, but this isn't easy here.
No, it's not. He would like to draw the cue ball back to that end cushion. And in doing that, he's going to have to hit the 1 pretty hard. And he may have to hit it somewhere in the area of the 2, and he certainly doesn't want to do that.
No, he can't draw it back to the end rail here. Because to do that, he'd have to hit it straight ahead or cut it to his right a little bit, and that makes it hard to control the 1 ball.
Exactly.
If I've got this shot, I'd try to find a way to stop it or something. See, I saw this too. That he can shoot the 13, and it looks like the cue ball comes right down between the 3 and 9 if he makes a good accurate hit on it.
That's a very difficult shot to force yourself to
Well, but
shoot.
he's in a tough spot here. And remember our theory on this. If you're in a tough spot and a tough safety, you might as well shoot, give yourself a chance to win. Now see where the cue ball comes here, Bill?
Yeah, that's a tough shot to shoot. And,
well, he executed it perfectly.
He certainly did.
And now he keeps the heat on Efren.
No, there's no heat here. Reyes is going to bank to 15.
Not necessarily. 2 balls come up. Let's see what it looks like after that.
That's true. That's true. I wasn't mindful of that. That is true.
See, if in banking the 15 he has to hit the bottom of one of those balls and
then
can't get position, then he cannot shoot it.
If he can't get position, then he can't shoot it.
Well, now I don't believe he can.
Okay, well then there's no decision. Then he'll pocket the 13.
Well, there's a decision. He could shoot the 10.
Well, I look from the pocket to 13 and putting Nick back in the stack.
Right. Well, what a great player Nick is. You know, see how quickly he calculated that cue ball would come right down here, and I could see it from the booth. I believe the score is Varner 2 balls, Efren Reyes O's 2.
Exactly.
Now he may have something that he can do with this ball here.
Well, what he's looking at, Grady, is he's trying to determine whether or not he can shoot the 14 into the 9.
Well, if he can hit the bottom of it and just get it out of there far enough to just not leave a shot, he's all right. But I think this is what he had to do. But now this is rough here because Efren is going to shoot the 11, and he's going to have to hit it thick enough to have the cue ball go through the 11 a bit and get past the side pocket.
Well, if I'm Efren and I shoot the 11 and I hit it on the right-hand side, sending it to the long cushion on the left side of the table, 2 cushions toward his pocket, repositioning the cue ball somewhere down there behind the 1.
Well, I don't like that because the 1 and 2 both go in Nick's pocket.
They do, but don't forget, it's not without a penalty because Efren's going to have several balls near his pocket, and Nick's going to be hard-pressed to play defensive against that particular situation. Let's see. I'd hit the right side of the 11, sending it 2 cushions down toward my pocket, like this here.
Well, that's what he did.
Like this here. That's the shot. Now the 9 came out. It looks like it's giving Nick an easy out.
Well, I wouldn't call this an easy out. Nick does not have any balls on his side of the table. I might almost be tempted to hit the 11. No, you can't either. I was going to say off the right side of the 11, the 8 off the right side of the 11. That moves the World's Fair towards your pocket.
That's not a bad shot at all if he's able to hit the 8 ball thickly enough. He can draw it back because you don't want to sell out a shot or a bank.
Right.
That's not a bad shot at all. If he can hit the left side of the 8 the way he's looking at the table and draw the cue ball back, I think a lot of good things can happen here.
Remember what you touched on earlier, the 7-5 looks pretty good for Efren's pocket too. So.
Okay, that shot there, that's the shot. Now the 11 came out, and invariably Grady Efren was going to shoot the 11 here.
Oh, that's a little hard luck there. He executed that very nicely.
First, Efren's looking around, finding out whether or not there's another shot other than the 11. I do believe.
Well, these are tough because you either hit it with no English, inside English, or outside English, but he doesn't have to have position because the cue ball.
Well, he's going to bank to 2, maybe?
Goes into those balls. Well, I don't blame him for he's banking to 1.
He's going to leave the 15.
Or the 8.
He's going to leave the 15. And it's almost going to be free.
Well, it's hard for him to miss a 9. But he can miss a 9 if he plays to overcut to 15. Now, look at that's what he's looking at. I don't think he can get it up around a 3rd diamond. I'd be happy to get it up around a 2nd diamond here.
Well, maybe he's looking just to bank to 1 or something. But I think that he's going to shoot the 15.
Oh, you got to shoot this.
I don't like Efren's. He just got up there and shot that.
I know.
I didn't like that too much.
And it's a pretty shocking show of disrespect for Varner's ball pocketing capability, which is near legend anyway. Nick likes to shoot. He wants to shoot. He's not scared to shoot, and he's going to be successful most of the time, especially when it's free like this.
No, he wants to hit the thin side of the 50.
Right,
he wants to overcut it. And look at the cue ball. He just gave him an ideal shot. I don't understand why he did that.
Well, maybe he wanted to send a message. Boy, you leave me an easy, even though it be a table-length bank of this nature, I'm going to shoot it and run out on you and so on. But it just doesn't work that way sometimes, especially in the heat of competition.
And if he continues to shoot shots like that, he's going to have to be sending other messages, maybe home for money.
Yeah, right. At the worst, he's got an 11-6 combination, and he can put the cue ball behind the 9. That's at the worst. And he might have something a bit better. Who knows?
Oh, he allowed the cue ball to get away slightly and wasn't able to reposition it behind the 9. And he's allowed Efren at the table to do something with something there. He can two-rail the 8. Does he have anything with the 6 or 11?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. It doesn't look like he's going to shoot that. I think he's got too good a shot, the 9 ball being in the big ball position, meaning that the 11 can hit one rail or the 9 first. Well, Nick kind of got away there after that inadvertent other shot.
Well, the big ball position means that you can hit a lot of different spots
and still make
the ball. You don't have to be real accurate with the hit. But he wasn't able to put it down.
He's going to put the cue ball right in the middle of the end rail. Well, he went a little too far. You know, if I'm Efren here, I have to shoot the 6 ball. In fact, he might be able to shoot it and cause the cue ball to go between the 12-7 and if the 8 doesn't pass the 10, leave it tough if he doesn't make it. Or he can just go into the 12 with the cue ball, but I don't see any reason to do that here.
Well, he's going all out for this shot. He's going to totally disregard the balls on Nick's side of the table. He's going for the ball. He says, listen, I owe 2 balls. This is a good opportunity for me to get into this game and possibly even win it. Oh, hit it thickly. He's not really playing well.
Well, how many times have we said this in the past? For you aspiring pool players, the harder you shoot, the shorter a bank comes. The easier you shoot, the longer it comes.
So up to this point of the match, Grady, Efren is not playing as well as he should be playing. Nick certainly has the upper hand.
Right, and I think if this 8 goes, he's not even going to hesitate. That's going to be his shot. Now, what he plays next, now I don't know. I think he can follow this and maybe go one rail and try to come into the 7. The 12, he may have a half or 3/4 pocket past the 10 ball, and if not, he'll have some sort of shot on the 6 ball. Just like this. Okay, nice shot, nice shot. Now he's got all sorts of options depending on whether the 12 passes the 10.
But he has to be really, really careful here. If he plays position for the 10, he may end up getting stuck up there.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I've even scratched off the high side of a 10 ball like that, playing straight pool in one pocket. Weird things can happen, you know.
He would like to follow it. Look, he wants to miss the 10 going in and come back out and hit the 14. Oh, now look, if the 12 passes, he's kind of okay. If the 12 doesn't pass, then he's gotten himself in a pretty bad spot.
Well, if the 12 passes, I like going 2 rails, 1, 2, 3 rails actually. After making the 12, I want some rightingness on the cue ball, and I want to go down to the first diamond by the far right-hand side rail, and then out another natural rail. And see, that's where it's looking. But I don't know that I'd want to protect the lead here if I could, too. He's got 5 balls, Efren none.
Efren, I think, owes 2 still.
I don't see any coins on the table, so I don't. Oh, they just pushed over.
I don't believe I've seen Efren make a ball this rack.
No.
So he did scratch twice, so he still owes 2 balls. Nick, on the other hand, has 5 to the good, and a shot on the 12, and it's not an easy one. And this is all part of the decision-making, playing one pocket, whether or not it's a fair trade-off to go for the 12. And if you miss it, you know, you're allowing one of the greatest offensive players in the world at the table with a shot.
He's going to play the 14 and put the cue ball, or the 7, put the cue ball on the end rail.
Okay, he's back to his original game plan of trying to frustrate Reyes, trying to get him off balance. And once he gets him off balance, it's his job then to keep him that way. Well, Efren,
he wanted to protect the lead, which...
Well, that's right. So therefore, by shooting the offensive shot, he could win the game with. By shooting the defensive shot, he's protecting the lead, and he's continuing to frustrate Reyes.
What are you doing, 2 rail in the 9?
Yeah. That's a real good hit. I thought it was, at least.
Well, I don't know. Efren is, I don't know, seems to be disconcerted. Maybe his equilibrium a bit off, but he's trying to find things where I don't see anything.
Well, that's because Nick has frustrated him, and
I'll tell you what's not a bad shot.
What he's doing has been effective.
Giving the guy the 11 here isn't the worst shot in the world.
No, it's not. But if he can see the 9, he doesn't have to do that.
I didn't know he could see the 9. Right, he doesn't. Good
He
shot.
wants to knock the 14 over, opening up the pocket for the 14. Now Reyes can't even put him back up table again.
Right. You know, these are tough situations here because the 11 ball isn't enough of an asset to risk losing the game trying to protect. Yet, if you start to move all the balls woodenly up the table, it's tough to make a comeback against a great player like Nick.
Efren is really reaching.
Right, exactly. He sure is.
Not that that wasn't a great shot. It turned out to be a magnificent shot. Nick doesn't have a shot, really.
Well, he can go off the 1 and float down just above the 11 and over a little bit. That's one possibility.
Tough shot. Because he has to control the 1 ball. He doesn't want to leave any kind of a bank here. Tough
Just
shot.
like this, right?
Oh, boy, is he
nice
playing
shot.
well. Really playing well. Efren will do the same thing again. Now off the 10 this time because the 5 blocks the 9. But the 1 ball may be able to go after he moves the 10, so he has to be a little careful. But once again, he doesn't have the luxury to be careful.
Well, you know, I might consider, well, I don't think he's got the right angle. Little bit different. Maybe he does. So, you know, a lot of times kissing the 10 off the bottom side of the 12 is a good shot. And send the cue ball down around the area to 7.
Exactly, but I don't think he's going to do that. He's going to reposition the cue ball close to that bottom cushion. No, does the 1 pass?
I don't know.
Well, I don't believe it does because he would have never shot that shot in the fashion
Well,
that he
Nick's
shot
completely
it
out of the
if
trap
one
no matter
passes.
what. He just makes the 14 off the 10 ball. That ball goes up on the spot.
But he's not really out of the trap, really. But for that 1 shot, he's not in any.
Oh, I don't think
Danger
he's
of
in any
losing.
trouble here at all. Efren has no way to move another ball anywhere near his pocket here.
No. Efren's looking to try to reposition the cue ball to the left at the 7. But that's no good, really, because he's going to give him a shot on the 12. He's going to have to be mainly concerned about moving that 12. Now, after this shot, Nick's going to have a shot in the 12. No, he hit it very thinly. That's a better shot. Not giving him anything. Now Nick will go rail first and kick the 11 out of there. That's a shot.
Yeah.
He'll just go rail before the 11, sending the 11 on his side. That seems to be the best shot he has offered to him. Because you take a ball away from Efren's side and put it on your side, and then you reposition the cue ball in an area on the table where Efren can't do anything offensively. So that's a good shot. I don't know if Nick sees it that way, but it's...
Well, I think he's got to shoot that shot. He cannot cross this out of there. There's a kiss on that shot.
He's trying to shoot the 7, repositioning the cue ball, using the 2 as a blocker. I don't like that because he's got a 5 to -2 lead here. Repositioning the 11 is really ideal.
The -1. Efren paid 1.
Okay, excuse me, the -1. No, I don't believe this is right. I don't believe what he's doing
Well, if
here
he's
is
thin
right.
in the 5, that's not the end of the world.
I don't believe this is right.
Well, as I look at it, what's the matter with what he did there? He played a combination and made sure he missed it on the right side if he did happen to miss hit it a little bit, and handled the cue ball.
Okay,
real well.
that was okay, because at the same time he figured he may get 1 or 2 balls out of play, so it was okay. It was good thinking, intelligent thinking. It wasn't any haphazard type of a shot, so it was fine.
Well, this.
Okay.
Now he can 2-rail the 12 out of there, right?
Back to square one for Efren now. He has to try to reposition the balls, and then
Now, I would like Efren to not be able to see the 7 here.
right.
If I could possibly. Of
Well,
course, if he
that's a
does
good
this,
shot
it's not going to
there,
matter
right.
at all.
Yeah, he'll just come off to 10. But once again, he's got to be real careful here, because he can leave him across bank on the 11, and he can sell out the 7.
Oh, a lot of bad things could happen here if he tries to be offensive. And as I suggested earlier, the 11 ball is not enough of an advantage to risk losing the game trying to protect.
Can he bank the 5 somewhat without getting the kiss and leaving the cue ball down that end of the table?
Yeah,
forcing.
he could do that. Now, actually, I think that's a pretty good shot. He played a little wide. He could get Nick in a little trouble.
Watch out! Watch out! Oh, he's lucky he hit the full side of the 3. Had he brushed the 3, the 10 would have then gone in front of Nick's pocket. Something Efren really couldn't afford.
He's looking at maybe banking the 10 ball here. Now you got to be careful here because the 311 billiard is on from the proper angle for Efren's pocket.
Then I'd be looking to bank the 9. Then the 9's the better shot because the 3 and 11 are dead. They're dead balls. So why not bank the 9?
Sure, just put the cue ball over there by the
one bank the 9. And now Efren has to be preoccupied dealing with the 9 that you just banked.
Well, he's looking at this one because he can pull the cue ball back to the end rail.
I don't
and if he makes it, he can do something with the 311, this shot, or move the 14 and 12.
The reason I didn't like that shot is because that shot had to be hit with accuracy. If he hits the 7 with that bank, he's in trouble. But as well as he's executing out there.
Right. Now, I like pulling the cue ball over behind the 11 here. Knock both of them out of there and just pull it over like this and make Efren's position even more awkward. Nick has 6 balls.
He shouldn't do this.
Now, when he does need to protect him, he decides all of a sudden not to. At least the way I perceive it.
I don't agree with that shot. I thought he had an out with the 7.
Now I'm going to roll the 2 ball, just pass the side a foot or so.
Well, as far as Nick's concerned, mission accomplished.
Right, exactly. He's out of trouble. He leads 6 ball to Efren O's 1, and maybe we can get a score on the adjacent table with Tang Ho and Cliff Joyner.
That match looks like it's tied up at 1 game apiece. Anyone know?
Anyway, that's a nice shot that Nick turned in. Now Efren's going to have to play safe again. And see, he's not wedge-like in his thinking like you suggest Nick is sometimes. He wants to shoot it. Last thing in the world Efren wants is to get all the balls wedged up into a corner.
Well, that's why I was surprised when Efren shot that shot, shooting the 2 balls in front of his pocket or near his pocket away. That really surprised me because that's certainly not his style.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's the first time in a long time that I can remember Nick getting that loose.
Yeah, and I don't even know exactly how that happened because that 14 ball squirted out of there from a place I didn't see.
Surely he couldn't be feeling sorry for Efren.
No, you know better than that.
Oh, please.
He wants Efren's best shot to be a 4-rail corner hook.
Yeah. I mean, really, Ice Pick Nick certainly isn't going to get soft on us, is he?
No, you know better than that. Yeah, he's funny, you know. He never says anything in public, but if you beat him, he doesn't like that very much, and he won't say anything. But then he'll the night when he beats you, he'll tell his wife or his dad or somebody or one of his friends, "Well, I paid him back."
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, he's got to put up 1, and he's all square.
Okay, he got even. Reyes needs now 8 balls.
Got to be careful that the 11 doesn't double kiss the cue ball here.
Nick needs 2. It's not really an easy shot that Nick has here, by the way. If you give him a ball, you're going to have problems controlling the cue ball.
Yeah,
if you don't give him a ball, the kiss is a possibility here.
No, that's a good shot.
Good shot.
All right. Efren needs 8, Nick 2.
That's a good shot also, but he may have left him some type of a shot. But the last time Nick was at the table in a situation like this, he tried to bank a ball, and he allowed Reyes at the table with a straight-in shot. And I know he's remembering that now.
Right. I was just going to say something to that effect. Well, you know, he's playing so well. There's nothing wrong with just stopping the cue ball and taking a whack at his 3 ball.
Well, he's allowed Reyes to see the 11. He could.
Well, he's got a shot on the 3 that I believe is a better shot.
I don't think he can bank the 3 though.
Sure he can.
Oh yeah. I was shooting. I was thinking that he had the other pocket.
Nice shot.
But
I thought he made it.
Not nice enough.
Well, this shot's bankable. I don't know if I'd shoot it with a 6-ball advantage.
He's going to shoot it, and he's going to shoot it. And what he wants to do with the cue ball is he wants to hit the long cushion in between the side and the far corner. Now he's going underneath it. Now he's probably going to go into the 1 here with the cue ball. If he's able to hit it that hard. Watch out, he might go behind the 1. Nope.
Well, now Efren's got a chance to maybe start getting back in the game. He's got a nice 2-rail bank on the 7-ball, and I would follow this. He might have a shot on the 11 if he makes it.
He may not have the angle to follow it. See, he had to hit too much on the left side of the 7 to follow it. Nick will just take out the 7. Shouldn't be any indecision here.
No, but you got to be careful what you do with the cue ball.
He'll just park it on that bottom cushion.
Yeah, I like that too. Well, you might as well go 2 rails and try to catch the 5 or the 1 here too. Well, if he doesn't, that's okay too. But
now, Efren would like to see the 7. I like the 7 better than this.
I do too, because all he can get is 1 here.
And he's not going to get it because he's going to have to turn that ball so much to get that. And if you don't get it, it's back in the cluster.
Oh, look, he can bank the 11 here and go behind those balls if he wants to, but I don't think...
No, he'll bank the 7.
Right, exactly. There's no reason to shoot the 11 here because I can see some bad things that could happen to him by doing
I
that.
do too, because if he gets the back of those balls, Efren can start shooting those balls back down table. I don't like this shot.
And he could he could start off by putting 1 or 2 on his side and
Look,
hiding Nick.
He tried to pull the trigger, but he couldn't do it. You people at home can go back and see what I was talking about. He tried to bank the 11 and pull the trigger, and at the last second, he thought better. This is the better shot.
Okay, playing for 1, beautifully done.
That's a better shot only because of the score.
Oh, right.
Right.
If the score had been even or Nick's behind, the other shot would have been the right shot.
Absolutely. The other shot would have been a much better shot. But that's part of the great management Nick brings to the table with him. He understands how to play the score. Unlike
well, the true odds, excluding the scratch vigorous, are 255 to 1 against Efren winning this game if Nick makes him make his 8 balls one of the things. Enormous odds. Now Nick will play the wedge if he can get it. Now he'd like to have the wedge. And he's got a nice start. He just needs to move those balls about 1.5 feet forward. And Julian, our stalwart, erstwhile cameraman, loves the wedge. Gives him a chance to get some timely shots.
It gives him time to rest, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to move the camera around too much. Just keep it focused on that one corner.
There they are. There we go.
There
now,
they
there's
are.
the beginning, as Billy described it. Oh, now, Efren made a bad mistake here. This is going to allow Nick to get that wedge a little tighter.
He's going to play the 3.
Okay, that's a nice shot. Nice shot.
Well, unfortunately, Efren can come off the 5 here, repositioning the cue ball behind the 3 somewhere, because to try to move the 3, elevating over the 2 and 14, may not be a shot Efren would like to shoot at this time.
No, there's nothing to gain from that either.
You know, this is a difficult shot, even though you would like to move that 3. Sometimes you better think a little bit differently and go elsewhere. So he's going to go off the 5 and send the cue ball behind the 3. Now, he can't leave the bank here. Well, he's allowed Nick at the table with some kind of a bank, but it's not free, so Nick probably won't shoot it. He'll probably do something with the 3.
He might be able to thin this 3. I know he can use low right English and get long enough to not hit the 5.
And double bank it?
No, he might be able to cut it close. And if he doesn't make it, hang it up. Let's see what he looks like.
He might double bank the 3 also if he doesn't cut
but
it.
the cue ball's a little close. See, low right English, and he can thin this. I think this is makeable or awfully close to it, like this.
Oh, well, if it's makeable, then
right, and see, I knew he could get it long enough to not get in trouble with the 5. Well, our score is 2-0, and I got to say, Nick has made, Efren's job today just untenable. He's just keeping him in trouble and confused. No momentum.
Well, that's actually was his game plan going in. He wanted to try to frustrate Reyes. Now, very unlike Varner, Reyes shot that last shot like lackadaisical. Gave Nick that cut on the 3. Now, if Nick Varner was behind needing 7 or 8 balls,
Boy, he doesn't do
Reyes
that
would
against
have
me.
never got
He
the
lays
shot.
it down where the balls do weird things. I never get a bank in the end game like that. You know,
Right. But Reyes, I think was kind of glad in a sense that game was over. Now he can get back to work trying to,
Are you suggesting that it's akin to a teenage boy who got his caning or his spanking in the woodhouse? Say, well, come on, let me get it over with.
Yeah. He didn't want to finish that game because of the position of the balls, and he didn't like the way Nick was treating him.
Well, no, he's being pawed and manhandled and abused on the pool table. There's a nice shot on the screen of Tang Ho.
There's Tang Ho on the adjacent table playing in a match of
But you don't want to watch
importance.
too much Tang Ho, because if you can get in stroke watching his stroke, then you're a better man than I. He's got a jerky washboard type stroke, and how he pockets a single ball is beyond my ken. All right, here's Nick leading 2-0. He even won the lag. Well, that's not the best break in the world. If I'm Efren, I'm delighted that at least I'm not going to have probably any trouble getting out of the break.
Yeah, that's definitely what Reyes needed. He needed to step to the table looking at something other than a trap.
But this is tough. He's got to win 3 in a row against Nick Varner and break service twice.
Oh, I understand it's not going to be easy, but he should be delighted that he was able to step to the table after the balls were broken to look at that.
Sure.
Because if he can crack this break, he's breaking the next game.
Yeah.
And then if he can hold serve on his break, it's 2-2 going into a 5th and final game. So therefore, he certainly has an opportunity to win this match, providing that he can crack this break. Win on this break right here. If he can win this game, then he's a legitimate threat.
I don't think Nick wanted him to hit that 4 ball. I kind of like to keep a ball like that 4 ball on my side of the table. It removes a huge section of down table that my opponent can leave me. Well, the 7 may be dead. In fact,
the 9.
And the 9.
Yeah, he's preoccupied.
Don't you hate it when and sometimes you hit them 2 or 3 times and there's still dead ones.
Right.
And new dead ones appear. And, you spend half your time breaking up dead ones.
Right, and he was preoccupied thinking how to defend against the 9 and the 7. Nick's kicking at the 3 here, getting that out off of Efren's side of the table. When your shot selection is one like that, you're in top stroke.
That's for sure.
You have no fear. You know where the cue ball was going. You know how the rails are playing. You can just feel the table like you own it.
And Efren's not used to that either. See, he's used to doing that to other people, and now things are coming apart. They're frayed at the edges, flawed, and man, there's bedlam amongst the troops. I think Nick is straight in on the 13 ball.
And if he can pocket the 13, and that means that not only is Nick playing extremely well, the balls like him too.
Sure. Well, he's going to have to twist this a little bit if he decides to shoot it, I guess, the way he is gazing longingly at that 13 ball. But that's one of his strengths, too. He gauges shots of this nature awfully well. Fascinating. Deflection. A bit of curve. He's elevating slightly. Probably only needs a 24th of an inch or so. Nice shot. And you have to hit at that speed. You hit it harder than that, then the amount of curve on the cue ball isn't accurate. I think he's going to take a shot at this 7 ball if there's no kiss. Maybe not.
It wouldn't be a bad shot because of the position of the other balls on the table.
Right, but I would want to know that I
up.
could hit it good enough to not just automatically leave a bank. I want to either make it or get it hung up in my pocket or protect the cue ball.
Nope, he's still going ahead and squeezing with both hands.
Well, there's nothing the matter with that.
Efren will probably come off the bottom part of the 7 or kick into the stack. Kick into the stack wouldn't be a bad shot here. Hit with the right speed.
Well, I've found that when I'm behind, I got to leave shots of that nature alone because something weird happens. You hit the wrong side of the ball, your speed isn't good. Now, the 3 ball blocks this from going. I don't see a lot of good that can happen from this.
Well, he's just trying to control the cue ball, making next job a little bit tougher, and trying to reposition possibly some of the balls in a little better position. So when the next time he comes back to the table, he'll have probably a better situation to deal with. There's no urgency to do anything offensively.
Can we get a
and risky.
Tang Ho Cliff Joyner score, perchance? It's still one each, okay. And they are apparently hot into the middle game. And I think Nick has one ball, Efren none in our match here. Now, one pocket players, and it's a great discipline. You'll have fun all your lives if you take up this great game. You always need to know what the score is, because you don't want to not play position, and when you need an extra one, you need to remember if you owe any balls. And I mean, heaven forbid that we have such nice folks, but an opponent might accidentally get his hand in your pocket, and, on the table I'm referring to, and a ball might accidentally and mysteriously disappear. I'm sure it would be accidental, but
Nick's trying to determine whether or not, obviously, the 6th ball is a
well, if it is, that's a nice
legitimate
kick shot.
It looks like he's
You got to watch the scratch in the side.
well, he's going to hit the 1 maybe and try to play it off the 1.
Oh, I thought he was going to kick it. Oop.
Oh my! Oh my! It looked like it had maybe enough speed to make it to the pocket. It was going to be close, but we'll never find out.
Well, if there's one thing that's like a bugle call to Efren Reyes, it's getting a shot where, heretofore he had none.
Now, how many shots like this has Efren had in this match?
None. I don't think, has he?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Playing for 7.
Okay, now he's going to probably want to go into the 2 here.
I'd like to hit the bottom of the 2 here, too. See, if he hits the high side of the 2, he's going to have to shoot the 7 next, and it's tough to get position. If he hits the bottom side of the 2, then he's got options. And I wouldn't want to do it hard.
Oh, that's
Just like this.
That's a very good
it.
point. Now, he missed that shot. Now, there's definitely something wrong with his game, because I don't believe I can remember. Really, I don't really believe I can remember the last time that he's missed a ball like that.
No, I'm at a loss to explain that.
So frustration and pressure does weird things to a man, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Well, if this is cuttable, he's going to have to strike the 1 ball so thickly it's going to be tough to control the cue ball. If he could cut the 12 just a hair to his left, boy, that cue ball comes nicely and ever so gently and smoothly behind that 7 ball.
It would be nice if he could hit the cue ball a little more accurately, but he doesn't have that luxury.
We're going to take a look at in a moment, as soon as Nick shoots, at that inadvertently missed dead ball that Nick attempted a couple of shots ago. All right, let's see what he does here. This is a nice shot. Takes guts here because you cut it too much. Oh, well, that's okay. He decided to play a ticky. All right, here we go.
Now watch the 6th ball. Does the 6th ball have enough speed to get there?
Yeah, I think it was going to reach.
Well, we'll never know.
No,
we'll never know.
Oh, that was nicely portrayed.
But that was something that Efren desperately needed. But he didn't take advantage of it, did he, Grady?
No.
Now he's in a position that he doesn't care for too much.
Well, no kidding. What do you do here? I don't see any tickies or cute little things that can get him behind that 6.
Well, maybe
he takes a scratch.
Maybe he's trying to decide whether or not he's going to bank the 3. He's not opposed to banking the 3 in this spot.
If he banks the 3, he can prepare his concession speech, in my opinion.
Okay, he's trying to softly roll behind the 1, in between the 6 and the 1. With the cue ball, I don't know if he has enough room to do that.
Yeah, that's a tough shot.
Now he's looking at the 3 again. There's not too many options out there. Now maybe he's taking a scratch. No, this is a shot that you would shoot well.
I play systems for this, right?
Right.
That's a nice shot.
I'll tell you what, if I could do that, I would give up a lot. If you could teach me, Grady, to do that.
I can teach you that. It's an easy system to learn.
Because see what that just did for him? I mean, there weren't really any outs for that particular situation other than doing that.
However, Nixie has no route to do the same thing. The 2-rail route is blocked. The 1-rail route is blocked.
Does the 12 pass the 7 into the lower right-hand corner?
No, I don't think so.
So therefore, Nick could possibly position the cue ball by the side pocket if he could find a way of getting it there.
Well, he can get there going 2 rails.
Or off the 6.
But I don't see that does him any good because Efren would have many options.
Like what?
Well, like kicking gently behind the 6, going off the 5 behind the 6, but doing something with the 15 ball.
Well, I myself, if I were Nick, I'd have to try to reposition the cue ball in an area where Efren can't do anything, and let's see what he can do with kicking the 6 or whatever. Nick can shoot the cue ball 3 cushions behind the 3.
Right, that's not a bad shot.
I kind of
especially if
like
you can
that
get it
shot.
behind the 3.
Yeah, I kind of like that shot. Now
This is my shot here too, the rail first masse, but I don't think.
But
that's
this is so
laying
unnatural.
good. Yeah.
You know?
Well, he needs to remember that he's got Efren on a foul. First and foremost, if I were concerned here, I'd consider taking a scratch on top of the 6.
Well, that's a very, very noteworthy point that you just brought up.
I tried
there.
to make it to where Efren couldn't play me a safe and leave me on the wrong side of the 6, right?
Right. You try to leave the cue ball where Efren doesn't have anything natural. If I'm gonna I don't like this shot. I like either taking a scratch like he's doing now, or positioning the cue ball
Now, I don't
behind
like
the
the
3.
way he did that because he lets Efren, if he wants to, at worst, he can knock out the 1 and 15 balls and probably get Nick about the same area again with the cue ball.
Yeah, I think Nick gave him too many options by hitting
That's a
that
little farther
particular
away from the
shot
6
as hard as he did.
Or, well, I don't know. He's got a lot of options here, Efren does now. Or he could hit the 1 into the maybe the right side of the 15 and just put the cue ball up about 2.5 diamonds up where Nick couldn't hit any of those 3 balls. What's he looking at here? All right, now this is a good shot. Thick hit on the 1. 6 into those balls. Right, like this. Now, if he makes it, the only thing is if he doesn't make that, then he lets Nick completely out of the trap.
Well, he lets Nick start to get out of the trap.
Well,
But see, because he had options on that last shot to either keep Nick in a solid trap or go a little bit offensively in hopes that he did pocket the ball, giving himself a chance to win at that moment. But if he didn't pocket a ball, he certainly lost a lot of his position, but not totally all of it. He still has some position left because Nick still has to be careful. He can't do anything. He can't shoot anything hard here.
well, I don't know if he can or not. See, if he could cut that 7 a bit to his left and not get a kiss on the 10 ball as it comes out of there.
No, he's going to try to get behind the 10 with the cue ball.
Good shot, good shot.
Well, Reyes is going to put him back in the stack. I think he can brush to 14, setting the cue ball cross table back into the stack.
I would consider taking a scratch on the side of the stack if I couldn't do that.
Right. If he can't do that, he'll probably take a scratch. But if he has the angle to brush to 14, applying a little bit of right-hand English on the cue ball.
I don't think so, because as I view this, about the best he could do with the cue ball with the thinnest of hits is get the cue ball over to just below the first diamond on the lower left-hand side rail, and that would require a ton of right English and a soft speed to even have a chance of getting on the side of that 5-ball cluster.
Okay, let's take a look. I think he's finally made up his mind what is available. From our vantage point, it's sometimes quite difficult for us to see
You
what's
can take
available.
a 2-rail scratch on the side of the stack, too. Being careful not to go high enough to let him see the 15.
Watch out, that's too high.
Right?
Totally misjudged that shot. Not only gave him a shot to get out of the trap, but gave him an offensive shot.
Now there, Billy, was a place where he should have thought to himself, well, geez, if I mishit it, even if I miss the whole bottom side of the stack, at least he's not out. You don't leave him a shot of this nature.
Well, I'm thoroughly confused here. I mean,
All right, I've
never seen Reyes play like this.
I like playing position for the 3-ball, or just as good a shot is to play for the 14 and 4, and you go 2 rails underneath the 3-ball. See, I don't think I like using inside English on this and getting cute.
What'd you do with inside English?
Well, the 2 goes. I mean, you could come just above the high side of the stack there, but I like going 2 rails underneath the 3 and just down table for the 14 and 4.
Nick don't like it either. He doesn't want to shoot the 2 next. If you're going to shoot the 2, you want to be underneath the 2 to shoot it.
Well, to begin with, for the type of shot he's got on the 15 ball, he cannot get more than 2 if he plays 15-2.
He's thinking about shooting the 7 into the 10, but it's pretty thin, that shot, because it looks like he might get a double kiss.
Yeah, and let's talk about what happens there. See, the 7 comes so quickly off the rail because of the thinness of the hit. The other thing that happens is that the 10 ball moves slowly because it's a thin hit.
Yeah, I don't think that that particular shot lays right.
I would want to go ahead and take what balls Efren gave me here, too.
Yeah, he's going to force himself to shoot the 15, and let's take a look and see how he's cueing it. Maybe he's playing for the 2 next.
That's too hard, isn't it?
It looks like it's a tad bit too hard, and he's found himself in a very similar position that he was in prior to shooting the 15, in regard to shooting the 7, that is.
Oh, I tell you what, this
is a tough shot. He has to be real careful, as you know, shooting the shot if he opts to shoot the 7 into the 10.
This is not user-friendly in one pocket speak.
So actually, he's landed in a position that is a difficult one. So he's created somewhat of a problem here.
Yeah, he sure has. Well, you know what he's got here, Billy? He's got a kick at this 7-10 with a lot of left English and hit it, easy.
A one-rail kick underneath it.
Yeah, I believe he's got that. Or he could take a scratch underneath it. Now look at this. You got to be careful he doesn't hit the 12.
This
is okay, like this.
That was tough to do. But those balls were relatively tied up in front of Efren's hole. That little bit of a nudge right there certainly has opened up the balls quite nicely. Reyes undoubtedly will just put him way up table now, challenging him to shoot the 6, because Nick's not going to shoot it, and he's going to have his hands full trying to play a defensive shot.
I don't know about that. If he puts Nick where he cannot deal with those balls by Efren's pocket, you may rest assured he'll shoot the 6.
Yeah, well, that's maybe what you want him to shoot the 6. Right. If I'm Reyes, I want Nick to shoot the 6.
Well, yeah, if it was just
so
a match or
put him somewhere.
With Nick's leading 2-0, shots like that 6 ball, not that he's not a great shot maker, because he is, they're eminently more easy.
Well, the way I think is this. I got a superior position. I'm certainly not going to do anything to ruin it. I'm going to challenge my man to either shoot the 6 or try to deal with this position, just like he's done right here. Now, Nick steps to the table, and he doesn't have anything. He's faced with a dilemma here. He doesn't have a good offensive shot. He doesn't have a good defensive shot. So, therefore, in those terms, I believe Reyes has certainly done his job. See, Nick is shaking his head. He's acknowledging Reyes' effort. He's saying, good shot.
Right. Well, he could thin the 9 here.
I think it's time to do this. It's time to shoot hard the 9 into the 7 with some speed and hope you move those balls. Look at this.
Not going to quite.
Oh my! But it was time for him to have done exactly what he did. Unfortunately, he didn't. He wasn't able to eliminate all the balls, but he did get quite a few away from his side of the table. Actually, cutting down the ball potential, the ball running potential for Reyes. How's the 5 and the 8 lined up?
They're okay. They're about like that 5-7 were a game or two ago. It's makeable. He'd have to cut the 5 ball to his left slightly.
Wouldn't be a bad time to play position for that shot, because the 12 ball is there for a position ball. After if he opts to play position for the combination, he has a natural position with the 12 ball.
I'll tell you what I like here. I like playing the 9-12, then the 11. And as you shoot the 11, it moves the 5, and the 5 may go into the 13 and move the 10-2 where they go.
Okay, that's good, but you got to reposition back to that angle. That may be difficult. He does have an accessible route, 2 cushions deeply out of that lower left-hand corner.
A good point, Bill, because if he doesn't go deeply enough, he doesn't want to hit the 6-7.
And then he'll lose his market on the breakout.
Now he's looking at this now.
He's looking at the 5-8, and he's looking at the 11, and he's deciding where he would like the cue ball. If he hit it too far, he'll have this. If he hits it too short, he'll have this. What is it? Deeply. Now he has the combination, and now he has the angle that Grady was referring to.
He's such a great ball runner. He saw that. And he's got to make sure to hit this 5 thickly enough to
open up the 2 and 13.
Yeah.
The 2 ball he should
They
have.
Don't have to move much. See, ladies and gentlemen, an inch or 2 is fine. And actually, I thought he was a little hard luck to
actually
not
I
have
thought
the 2 and 10.
Yeah, I thought he needed a little more force in there to open up them balls a little bit better than that.
Well, now if he wanted to, he could play to get on the 3 next because this looks touchy as anything.
It certainly does, and he certainly has limited his ball production by that last shot. He didn't open them up.
He's got other possibilities. He could play for the 4 to 14 too. But,
could he go back into the balls here?
No, I don't think he's got. I think he's got too much angle for that.
Like this, go back into the balls and maybe come up with a shot. You know, if he comes up with a shot there, then he can get all the balls. But he hasn't done well with that shot. Now he's got to position the cue ball behind the 2. So therefore, that's something he has to be concerned about now. And considering the position that he's in, it might not be that easy to do. Let's take a look at the magician. So therefore, he's been. Nope, he wasn't able to get it behind the 2. But he has been able to shoot some offensive shots the last 4 or 5 times.
I believe the ball counts 4-1 effort. Now, if I'm Nick, I'm taking a shot at this 10 ball. If I can go into the 13 thick enough with the cue ball, which I believe he can, and I'm going to play it to the bottom side of the 2 ball, a lot of good things can happen here.
Right. You want to overcut this particular bank because you have the 8 of the 2 ball possibly to make it on a carom off the cushion. So therefore, I like that shot. I'm trailing. Even though I may have a little bit of the best position here, I feel it's time to go right now.
This is a good enough shot that I think he's got to shoot.
Yeah, I feel it's time to go right now. If I'm Varner, I go here because of all the potential out there.
Now, somebody won Game 3 between Ho and Joyner. Who was it? Okay, Tang Ho's leading 2-1. And as we mentioned earlier, now he's already defeated Varner and Reyes in this star-studded event. And we might mention the sponsors of this. Of course, this event is brought to us by Diamond Tables and Simonis Cloth. 19 tables set up. This is an enormous tournament facility. We're at the Executive West Hotel right by the Louisville Airport.
Well, Nick is having a hard time pulling the trigger on this shot or even making up his mind whether or not he wants to shoot it or not. Now he's walking down this end of the table, and that suggests to me that he wants to come off the 7 and try to reposition the cue ball behind the 3. You know, that shot is available also.
Oh, that takes a good accurate hit, though.
Yeah, but something that Nick probably can do quite often. Now he's saying to himself, well, I think it's time to go. Nope, he's leveling off. I don't know. He's going to lose the cue ball with this.
No, he can go gently past the side, or he went it a little.
See, he's going to lose the cue ball. He may get lucky here.
No, he didn't.
No, he did. He's going to lose the cue ball with that type of a hit.
All right, Efren, if I'm not mistaken, needs 4.
And they're not really that gettable considering the position he's in right here.
Well, a 5-13 looms as a combination.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's really no natural route to anything.
You know, Nick gave away a lot of his accuracy by hitting that with a high ball, too.
I thought so.
The most natural way to make that bank is with a little draw or a little below center ball.
Do you see how he shot that shot?
And you know, I like this because this gives him all kinds of things he can do. He can use inside English and come back 1 rail for the 10 ball, or
he could shoot the 10. He can shoot the 10 now.
No, he's not. He's going to play the combination.
I didn't say he was, but I said he could.
At least I think. I like playing for the 6 here. All right, let's see what he does. Now, if he uses inside English, now see what he's got to watch if he uses inside English is that the 5 doesn't tie up the 10 ball. Right, he'll come over 1 rail. He's got to be careful. The 5 hits the 10 here, right, like this. And if you misgauge it or something, you could have problems. All right,
is he playing for 2?
Playing for 2.
Playing for 2.
And that was a nice shot.
Boy, this is going to be a big game for him to win because he'll be breaking the balls.
And Nick
in the
is disgusted
game.
because You know, that's the only shot in the whole match I think he's misexecuted.
I liked your shot a lot better by going into the 13 with the cue ball. Because then he controls the cue ball. You know, he can afford to miss the bank if he goes into the 13 solidly.
As soon as Efren probably makes his 6th ball, we'll change tapes and we'll be right back with you.
He missed it. He missed it. He still isn't really playing well.
We're going to change tapes or we're going to wait a minute? All right, we'll wait. I wonder if that coffee is set up outside. What's a long dry spell with no sustenance of a liquid?
Well, why don't you just say what you mean? Just say what you mean. You would like some coffee.
Now, what do you like playing position on here? Got to be the 4-ball, right?
Yeah, well, he could actually play position. Well, yeah, the 4-ball, but he would like to play shape for the 14.
Yeah, if there's no natural route
if he can get there, right. There is no natural route to get to the 14 unless he can swing the cue ball in between the 4, narrowly missing the 4, coming off that side cushion, playing shape for the 14. Oh, he tried to go thinly into the and play the position in that fashion.
Now look what happened there, because even Varner, as great a shot maker as he is, does things like that, like I do sometimes.
Well, he tried to take the other routes and manufacture a route.
When I have to stretch, though, Billy, I find a lot of times I have to aim a little thicker or I overcut the ball.
That's game number 3. We'll be right back.
All right, Efren Reyes break.
Yeah, this is game number 4, 2-1 in favor of Varner. Varner seemed to have been in total control of this match until the last game. And then Reyes finally was able to get onto the board. And he must hold service here to send this match into the 5th and final game.
Well, I know he's got an easy kick at the 15 if he wants that. And he can hit the 5-ball. If he wanted to be a little aggressive, he could go hit the 5 straight into the side rail and then the 15 and try to punch the cue ball forward.
Those are 2 shots that are available.
Or he could draw into the 12. He looked at that. But, you know, that's no good from this angle.
You know, he may be reaching a little too much for that.
Well, one thing I'm not going to do here is just totally bunt. I'm going to give myself some kind of chance to win.
Yeah, he may play that billiard because.
Well, if he could maintain the angle for the bank on the 15, it would not be a bad shot.
Right. If the 3 was closer to the 12.
Exactly.
Then he could probably do that.
Or if the cue ball were a little more towards the middle of the table.
Yeah.
Either one makes it easier. This is a tough shot.
Yeah, but he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. And he's still thinking about it.
But he realizes the difficulty of that.
Well, I know that. But he's still thinking about it. He still has it on his mind. That's available, and I can win now. Or else I can create some offensive damage. Now, if he had a little more of a problem getting out of the break than he does, he would probably shoot the billiard. That's how much of a difference.
Well, one thing that I've learned the hard way in situations like this, Bill, is to say to myself, well, if I do kick easy at the 15, what's Efren going to do? And he's going to look for a way to put me on the side of the stack or move to 312 from my side of the table.
Or maybe come off the 1.
Snooker me on the other balls. Yeah, and if it's unpleasant, then I need to figure out something else to do. All right, 2 each, Joyner and Tang Ho.
He doesn't particularly care for the shot off the 5. Now he's opting to hit the 10 and maybe try to reposition the cue ball behind the 15.
Well, he can't get it there, though. It doesn't go behind the 15.
Well, he's trying to determine that whether or not. Well, now he's trying to figure out if he leaves Reyes where his stick is right there.
Yeah, but you can't do that against Efren. There's no place on that side rail that a ball like that 15 won't be cuttable.
No. So shooting off the 10 seems to be the least appealing of all the shots out there.
They can take a scratch. That's one possibility.
Okay, he can take a scratch, but this shot here, he has to be very careful with the speed of the shot. The speed of the shot is really important. I'll tell you what, he's really got this table down, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, he's really got this table down.
Yeah.
Now, Reyes has the option of coming off the 1, naturally, and he would like to reposition the cue ball by the side pocket, a little short of that, taking away that kick on the 15 away. He doesn't want to give...
Well, how about that shot that we like where you hit the 1 pretty thick and bring it 2 rails about into the 8 ball? That's another possibility. All right, maybe he didn't.
Let's see what he did. He let Varner back at the table where he can softly kick the 15. I mean, if he's forced to by...
Well, but now, when he does that, he's got to be careful of 2 things. He could scratch if he hits it a little bad, and 2, he might leave him a free bank on the 1.
I don't think the 1's enough cross table for him to leave a free bank.
Well, let's see. If he catches the proper side of the 15, see, this is what I would be afraid of. Now, it looks to me like he could shoot this 1 ball and just float the cue ball down to the middle of the end rail.
Yeah, he can do that, but he doesn't have any potential, ball running potential. So he's going to look elsewhere first, and then he's going to probably shoot the 1.
Yeah, but there's lots of things he can do if he happens to make the 1, right? At worst, he could probably go off the 9 ball with the cue ball and put Nick behind the 12. I mean, there's some.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be in a tough spot. He's going to be in the middle of the center cushion, or in the center of the end cushion. I don't know if he'll be able to do that.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not.
So this.
Well, he's not going to be in any trouble.
No. Looks like he's playing 2 cushions on the 1. Oh, it looks like he just went ahead and banked at it. He's got the 7 now, Grady.
Did he stay where he could see the 7?
I do believe he can pocket the 7. And that's why he elected to shoot it that way.
Well, that's a great shot. Great.
Yeah, well,
shot.
it certainly is a great shot because executing that shot in any other fashion doesn't allow him to shoot the 7.
Now, if he didn't stay where he could shoot the 7, we'll know in a minute. Okay. I guess the way he's lining up, he's all right. Now notice, aspiring 1 pocket players, that he didn't just tamely play position for the 6 and 15. He first looked to see, well, the 8 and 10 and 13 don't go. There was a 6-ball cluster there which didn't go, so he moved 1 ball out. Well, that's a nice shot. Now, as he makes a 6, he can contact the left side of the 15 gently, like this. And now he's got lots of other options. He can go into the balls, but I don't know that I like going into the balls here. I think I like playing position for the 5, and to do that, he's going to have to send the cue ball between the 5 and 9. All right, it's too steep. He's going to have to go into the balls, apparently. Now, he got an angle where he can bank the 5. The cue ball goes between the 3 and 12, and his left-hand English will carry him up to the side rail and position on a 3 ball if he makes it. That's assuming I see this angle correctly.
Position on the 11 ball.
Oh, he won't go that high.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe he will, but I don't think so.
I don't know. He's trying to determine whether the 9-14 will go. Now he's figuring out where he has to hit. I think this angle carries him naturally to the 11 ball. Oh, he drew into the 5.
Well,
he drew into the 3. He drew into the 3.
Yeah, he had to hit
the cue ball up.
He had to. He wanted to slow down the speed of the cue ball.
Right. He created that shot with his imagination.
Well, that's a standard 1 pocket shot, and he just didn't want the cue ball traveling that quickly. And it was a nice shot. And Efren has 5. Nick owes 1. He's playing for 3. I guess he's going to bank the 4. I don't think there's anything else there.
But keep in mind, all the balls are still in play.
Exactly.
They're still in play, and he hasn't positioned the cue ball where he can do anything offensively. So he has to be very careful here.
Yes, he does.
Because he's playing a player in Nick Varner that can steal this game from him very easily.
Nick's not scared of anything. He's going to shoot. He's going to be behind if he does, in fact, get to come back to the table. Now, he's looking at floating the ball over to the side rail, but now I think he's playing to make this. I didn't know that it would go. Okay, yeah.
I didn't think it would go either.
Okay, now he needs only the 2-ball, and we're going to have a 2-2 deadlock between
And
these two great champions.
who would have thought 20 or 30 minutes ago that this match, particularly as well, as easily as Varner was making this appear, that he had complete control of this match. And all of a sudden, it's 2-2, and we're going to go into a fifth and final game.
And the other match is 2-2 also. It's a nice room here. It's huge. They've got riser seating. Everybody likes the diamond tables, the diamond lights and chairs. I think there were 141 players in the bank pool division and 150 one-pocket combatants. There's a nice view of Tang Ho.
There are 4 players left in the one-pocket tournament. Tang Ho is playing Cliff Joyner on the table that's on the monitor now. That match is tied up at 2 games apiece. Varner and Reyes on the center table. And the 2 winners will then face one another. I don't know if any player has an option left. I was just informed that Tang Ho is the only player in the tournament that has the option to buy back in left. So therefore, Tang Ho almost pocketed a ball on the break. Tang Ho
Look at this nice
is
break.
in a very good position.
Nick turned in. Oh. Well, you see anything you like here, my friend?
Well, really nothing I like. Nothing really, because he's got to defend against a lot of balls if he's able to pocket the 13.
Well, I'll tell you what I like. I like trying to hit the 5-ball into the bottom of the 13 and punching the cue ball forward. I'm going to elevate the cue and try to hit it with a just above center ball. And I don't care if I give him the 13. And I want the cue ball to I don't want to leave a bank on the 9-ball. But I want to address that 13, and it's an obstinate angle for a kick shot, and I don't see any agreeable way to get rid of that ball.
I don't know if he has the angle to do that. I think he has to cut the 5-ball a little bit.
Well, fine. Then he go rail first and make the 13 if he has to.
And if he opts to go off the 9 in trying to billiard the 13 in, the 13's positioned a little bit away from the pocket. He may not be able to pocket it, and even if he does pocket it, he may sell out of the bank on the 12. Yeah. So, he's got problems.
All right, let's see. Here we go. This is what it's all about.
Okay, he did it, and he controlled the cue ball, just in an area on the table that he was happy having it end up in. So, therefore, he did his job.
Well, he did the exact shot that I suggested. I just didn't see that he had quite that natural an angle. That's absolutely the right shot.
Right. That's the right shot, because the other shot, it's hard to control the cue.
If I'm Nick here, I'm going to go rail first and bank that 5 towards my pocket and just stop Whitey there. Maybe not, though, as I look at it, because he doesn't have anything on his lower side rail, and he might leave Efren a free shot to just bank the 1 into everything.
And if you don't hit it accurately, and you allow the cue ball to escape that area of the table, he's going to give Efren the 9-ball, and the 9-ball could possibly be a match-winning ball.
Right. All right, he doesn't have a 2-rail bank on a 4-ball. He can't really thin the 7 because he's got to worry about leaving a bank on the 12.
But what he can do is, well, I was thinking about maybe just pocketing the 5, assuring himself that he would leave the cue ball in that area. But then Efren might do something with the 1.
Exactly, which would be relatively free,
Unless he was able to get the cue ball on the bottom cushion, and then Efren really couldn't shoot it with a lot of force.
Hey, the more I look at this, though, I don't dislike the kick bank. I really don't.
Well, providing that you can hit it accurately. If you're assured of controlling the cue ball, that's another thing. Oh, he's trying to position the cue ball on top of the 5. Something like that. And he's also repositioned the 4-ball so that Efren, if he makes a mistake, Nick may have a possible bank on the 4 ball, but it didn't come out far enough for that.
Well, he protected against the 1-2. I don't think you can shoot the 1 ball here. If you elevate the cue, there's some bad things can happen if he hits the high side of the 3. And if he hits the low side of the 10.
He's going to shoot the 1.
Right, but I'm telling you, unless he shoots it easy.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to hit it hard.
Okay.
He didn't hit it hard. But Nick repositioned the 4, trying to position it where if Efren shot the 1, he could come back and shoot the 4. But it didn't come back across the table far enough, I don't believe, for him to shoot the 4.
No.
Now, if Nick pockets the 5, Efren will do something with the 4. So
Well, that's still okay. That's not the end of the world.
so maybe now is the time to play kind of conservatively.
Well, I'd be worried about that 9 ball. Because
Well, if he pockets the 5, he don't have to be concerned about the 9 because Efren's certainly not going to shoot the 9 from there.
No, I simply say that a few shots from now, that could be a problem. I would want to address that as quickly as I
Well,
could.
we have to figure out a way to get to that position. Shooting the 4, you know, he can sell out the 9. Let's see what he does. Uh-oh, watch the cue ball. Watch the cue ball. Okay, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Efren seems to be breathing a little more freely.
Okay.
Seems to be.
Now here is his
gotten
area
some color
of
back in his
expertise
face.
too. Now in straight pool and 1 pocket, if the 9 were the break ball, a player would want to hit the shot with low right English and go into the back of the stack, then over to the side rail. Then the cue ball would spin out in the middle of the table with the English. And I think that's the right shot here because of how they're laying. Maybe not here, though, because the 13 and 12 look real good. I think I'd slow spin into the 10 ball.
He's gone all the way here. He didn't,
Well,
he didn't even look at the 13 and 12. He's gone. Oh, he's got to hit it with some force.
Well, this is fine. That's what I meant. This looks real good. Now he draws back for the 7.
Well, he doesn't have anything.
Yes, he does. His 13-12 is makeable,
No,
I think.
there's a ball behind the 13.
I see it. He's got to cut the 13 to his left a little bit anyway. All right, maybe it won't go. I sure thought it would. Well, you know, after some of the, just lightning quick reflexes mentally that he made, just good decisions, that seemed a bit quick to me and to be in such a critical situation. Well, he's liable to lose the match because of, just a quickly struck shot at a critical juncture. I don't know. That seemed awfully hairy-carry for Efren Reyes. Very unlike him.
Well, I just think you got to go back to square one here. Eliminate the 10, put the cue ball behind the 7 here. Well, he's just going to eliminate the 10. Reposition the 10 on his side of the table.
Well, does he have a shot to shoot the 3 into the 11-15 and just park the cue ball on top of the 8?
No, the ball on the side of the 3 is going to hit the 2.
Okay.
Now he's looking at just doing something very conservative. I don't like this shot either because he might give him a bank on the 4 or the 10 here. That's not a very good shot. He's going to have to try to do something with that 14 on Efren's side of the table. Possibly positioning the cue ball near that side rail, trying not to leave a 2-railer in. A 2-railer available for Efren. He's just got to very carefully grind his way back into a more favorable position.
Well, actually, these balls,
No, he wants to get the ball near the cushion, not allowing Reyes to have a 2-railer, which he hasn't given him.
these balls are not a disadvantage to Nick the way they're laying. The 1-14-7
Yeah,
go
but
in his pocket.
he has to protect against banks and stuff like that. Now Reyes looking at the 1 ball. I don't know what he plans on doing with this shot. That was a very heady shot.
That was a great shot.
Very nice shot. He got a lot of things accomplished shooting that shot. He certainly has. That that particular shot has made Efren a big favorite in this particular game.
And not only that, for you folks watching this great tape, that was easy. All he had to do was pretty much stop the cue ball, maybe draw it a touch, and completely change the flavor of the game.
Yeah, he's putting Varner in a real tough spot. Varner may have to end up even losing at least one ball here, and possibly more. He certainly is at a great disadvantage with that one little shot that Efren came up with.
And the ball count is Efren 1, Nick owes 1. I don't think he's got a natural way to put Nick on the side of the stack, which is where he'd like to have him.
Yeah, if he wants to come off the 12, he'll have to hit it too thinly, because if he hits it thickly, he shoots the 12 into the 2.
Well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well. Well, this is okay,
yeah.
too.
It's fine. He's going to take another scratch here. He's going to force Varner to try to get out of the trap other than kicking softly, because he's going to have him on 2 if he kicks again. And then he's going to put him back in the stack again, forcing Varner to come up with a better shot, a legal shot. See, that's why that one little shot that he shot, let's go back 2 shots ago to Efren's shot again. If we can later on, maybe Pat can bring that shot up again if he can find it. And Grady will explain to us exactly why that was a great shot and how that did change the entire game.
Well, I'm a big believer that if you shoot a shot that you can win with it, you can't possibly lose with it, and it's easy to do, real high percentage. I mean, that's the embodiment of championship pocket billiards. Of course, it's fun to watch a guy make a 6-rail bank or something, but what usually wins the money is common sense play.
But this isn't bad. I had this in mind, too. Give him the shot on the 14. Let him shoot the 14 and get it out of your hair. Put him in a position where he can't play position for anything else, and let's deal with it from that point.
However, the problem is that a smart player a lot of times will leave the 14 there and go ahead and do something else.
If there's something else available. Now, this is what Grady was talking about. However, he said, there are times when a smart player would opt to do something else. If there's... Oh, he hit that too softly.
Okay, so all right.
No,
we're going to take a look at that shot. Here it is.
There it is, right here.
Now, look, he's just going to stop the cue ball or pull it over to his left a little bit. And just like that, and kiss the 14 ball off the high side of the 7. A very easy shot.
Yeah, what he did actually was he took 2 balls away from Varner's side of the table, and he repositioned one of them on his side of the table in a real nice position, and he froze the cue ball in the stack.
This, Bill. If the 6 isn't dead off the 13, oh, he's got a lot of shots. He's got the 3 ball, the 1 ball banks.
Oh, he's going for the pocket here.
Well, sure.
Just be careful not to scratch here.
Well, I'd go to the right side of that ball down there. Like that.
Looks like he may have made... No, it went up the hill at the last second. It went up the hill.
Well, he sure struck it well.
Yes, he did. And it looks like he may have caused a little bit of a problem for Varner. Varner still owes a ball.
Well, he's got a choice here. He can give him the 3 shooting straight away, but I think I'd take a chance here and try to hit the side rail, then the 3 with the 14 ball.
And control the cue ball.
Right.
And hit it with good speed.
Right. And you sometimes this ball will go in your pocket. You don't want to hit it too hard.
That was too hard. That was too hard. What a mistake that was. Fortunately, balls opened up on Varner's side of the table and nothing on Reyes' side of the table. Fortunately for Varner, that is.
Okay. Efren has no balls. Nick owes 1.
You might see Reyes go rail first off the 3 here, Grady, trying to reposition the cue ball somewhere around the area where the 9 is for the position for the 14. That seems to be the natural route to the 14. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go rail first here.
Or on the inside of the 7 ball isn't bad either. He might end up with an angle where he can go into the balls, or he could end up where he could kind of float over for something on a 14 ball.
Well, as offensive-minded as Reyes is, you know, he's looking to figure out what ball will allow him to get more balls, or what ball will enable him to get more balls. And the 14 just might be that ball.
And this is obviously a very critical shot.
It certainly is. Matter of fact, for Reyes right now, this shot coming up may be the most crucial shot so far in this game or in the match. He's going to shoot it opposite hand.
Now, what Billy's referring to, see, if he could get on the 14 ball with a little angle, he could go into the 2 ball, go into the 13 ball. There's all kinds of things. He could bank the 9 next, play for the 7 next.
Looks like he's playing for the 7.
Well, I like going on the inside of the 7 here, like this. Right, now that, well, he went farther than he wanted to, but if he stops at a foot shorter, he's got a lot of options. Now he's got to make sure he just makes the 7. But it looks to me like the cue ball goes into the 11 here. Now he has to hit it a little firmer or use it just above center ball instead of a high ball if he wants to hit the high side of the 11.
Okay, now take this in consideration. This particular shot plays fairly easy on a 4 3/4 inch pocket table. This is a 4-inch pocket table. This shot is not anywhere near automatic.
No, that's why I suggested he wants to go all out to make it, and he doesn't want to do anything too cute with his speed or English. Now he's going to float over and try to go between the 11 and 2 ball, or hit the bottom of the 2.
See, that shot is not automatic on a 4-inch pocket table.
Well, I'm really surprised at that. I think he's got a full pocket on the 6. He's going to look at that. If so, he's got 6-9, 2-14, 8. Of course, he owes one. And my main concern here is to get those 5 balls. If I can break the cluster up, fine. But if I cannot, I want to make those 5 balls and leave the table having disposed of the 7 ball.
Well, he's shooting the 2 first.
Oh, that's okay. And he grazes the 14 like this.
I don't like that. I didn't like that too much. He'll probably do okay with it, but I didn't. You know, he could have got real awkward on the 14 and then he would have been stuck.
Well, I think he had an angle where he could see how thickly he was going to hit the 14.
That'll make Varner even. Reyes has a ball, and Varner is even after he spots it back up.
Right.
But he's at the table, so we really can't count his score. He's even at this point. Now let's take a look at the way the balls are positioned. He's trying to figure out a way to break the balls up and try to win from here. And that's going to be difficult.
It sure is. Like I said, I wouldn't want to be too cute here. Uh-oh, if he gets over the 6, then he's got problems.
Okay, he's still okay. He's got a good enough angle to draw the ball between the 6 and the 8 here. Position for the 8. He's going around the table.
Well, he has to. I don't think he could. That's a nice shot.
He has a pocket for the 11. The 11, I do believe, will go.
Well, that makes it a lot easier if the 11 goes. Because he can play the 8, 6, 11.
Varner has 2+ balls. Reyes has 1.
Now, see, like a straight pool break shot, he's seeing if he gets an angle on the 6, where would he like to be to go into the desired ball, which in this case I perceive to be the 12 ball.
Yeah, splitting the 12 and the 15.
Right. But if he goes into the 12, he's probably out here.
So he'll play that side of the 6 ball. And if the angle that's left to him doesn't offer him the ability to do that, he'll then play position for the 11.
I'll tell you what, you'd be hard-pressed to place it better with your hand than where you finished.
Okay, Grady says he does have the angle to split the 12 and the 15 and
This is
open up the
perfect.
balls.
Just above center ball, a touch of left English. I believe that, as Billy said, 12 and 15, he splits with this cue ball.
Well, just like that. And
Well,
he's falling a little bit underneath the 12.
Which is fine. He should be okay here. Now, he may have to shoot to 15 here, though.
Now, he's taking a look at the 15 now. That's pretty thin. The 15's pretty thin. But, of course, if he shoots to 12, I don't know if he can play position for another ball anywhere.
All right, Nick has 4 good ones after, because he owes 1. So he needs 4. Well, see, if he tries to go above the 13 and past the side pocket, he has to shoot to 15.
He wants to. Well, it looks like he's going to try.
Now watch this. It's one of the prettiest shots in the pool. Kill the cue ball, low left English.
He's gone down table pretty far. Maybe a little bit too far. He certainly doesn't like it, but he didn't want to miss the 15.
Well,
he didn't want to be guilty of the same thing Reyes was guilty of when he was at the table by not pocketing the ball that he was shooting.
Well, now that I've gone this far, if I decide to shoot that 12 ball, I'm going to go down for the 1 ball. I'm not going to mess with the 11 and 13. And if I don't get right on the 1, I'll just give him the 7 and then just play on from there.
I don't know if I'd shoot the 12 ball here.
Well, I said if I shot it.
Because if he shoots the 12 and misses it, he misses the ball, then he spots 1 up, and it looks like...
The score will be 5-2.
it looks like that if he misses the 12, he's going to really open the door for
Well, yeah,
for
he
Reyes.
does, sure. And Nick knows that.
So the 12 ball he figures to probably pocket about, in this type of a situation, I'd say he'd pocket the 12 maybe 80% of the time.
Yeah, maybe 85.
You know,
Well, there's another way you can play this, too. You can show a little guts, which Nick always has never a dearth for courage. Low left English and try to go to the end rail and make the 7.
I don't think the angle offers that,
Okay, maybe not.
because if it did, he probably would opt to do it that way. Now, he's going to play position for the 1 and the 4 here.
Well, that's what I suggested was the right play for position purposes. Oh, you
No,
overcut it?
That's that 20% of the time you're going to miss that shot. Now he's going to spot 1 up, and now he's scratching his head, probably saying to himself, I don't think I shot the right shot.
All right, 5-1. And the key ball for Efren to get rid of here is the 11 ball. But first he's got to get position. But the 1 and 4 both go in his pocket.
hold
He
on a
needs
second.
7.
He's going to shoot the 1 into the 7 here. He should shoot the 1 into the 7 here. Even
I
though-
don't agree with that.
Well, the carry's natural position, and he's going to probably win the game.
Well, this is an easy position shot.
I don't
All he
know.
has to do is not hit this too thick.
I don't know. This is not an easy position shot.
All right, he's all right there.
Looks like a very similar situation he's confronted with as the one Varner just was confronted with.
Well, I don't see that he can. Well, if he shoots a 13, he can't draw it into the 15. You have to hit the high side of the 11, which is a pretty shot.
And this is one of his fortes.
Yeah, now let's see him do this. The high side of the 11 he wants to hit. Like that. That's a
he
nice
does
shot.
that with
Nice shot.
such precision. I mean,
Now,
it's uncanny.
He's got his choice here. He can draw above the 15 or float over for the 12.
I like drawing above the 15. It puts him on the natural angle to drop nicely for the 12.
Matter of personal preference here.
Okay, and if he loses the market on that angle, he can follow it and go to the side cushion and back across table.
All right, the ball count 5-4. Advantage Varner. That's fixing to change.
Varner's really next to himself in his chair right now.
He might hit that a little easy.
No, he's fine.
All right, he's all right.
I mean, he's not exactly in the position he wanted to end up in, but he's fine.
Well, this is
because-
perfect. He plays well opposite-handed. He wants some right-hand English, the cue ball to hit. Well, he can go 2 rails or 1 rail. 2 rails to hit just before the side.
Well, he's
1
going
rail to go
one
straight
rail.
down the table.
He's going 1 rail. And the reason he's going 1 rail possibly is because he ensures the accuracy of the shot going 1 rail. Little easier shot to judge going 1 rail.
Okay, playing for 2.
Okay, now he's going to, he has to spot up a ball. No, does he have to spot up one?
No, he didn't know
Okay.
any.
Then he can go after the shot then.
Hey, he's going to play position on the 4 here.
So this is it. This is the big
Playing
shot.
for 2 balls for
This is
game
it.
and match.
Big shot right now.
While we're waiting, not to suggest that this is over by any means, if you like this great tape or any of the other quality Accustat products, avail yourself of the mere expedient of calling 1-800-828-0397.
Okay, he made that shot.
Okay.
Hit it cleanly. Varner is in his chair, probably saying to himself, I shouldn't have shot that shot. I shouldn't have shot that shot.
Well, you know, I don't agree with that. I like him shooting the shot, but I find that shot hard to make, hitting it with a high ball and a soft speed. All right, the great Efren Reyes prevails, at least this wonderful evening.
Well, I'll tell
And
you.
I think I'll leave you to do the interview, and thank you for being such a pleasure to work with.
Well, if we're going to have an interview, I'd prefer if you did this one.
All right,
'Cause
well, I don't mind.
I have somewhere to go right now.
Okay.
And we're not
going to do an
anyways.
interview. Well, let me tell everybody this is a great match, and I learned some things watching it, and I'm sure you did too, Bill. And again, I cannot express enough how much it's been a pleasure to work with you, and I look forward to a time in the near future.
Well, thank you, Grady. That's my sentiment also. So, in behalf of Grady Mathews, this is Bill Incardona saying thanks a lot for all you people out there supporting Accu-Stats. Give Pat a call, 1-800-828-0397. We'll be back with the winner of the Tang Ho joiner match to play Efren Reyes.